The definitive auto sales 40 lapper for the EDCO Welding CRA Street Stocks is about to take the green. Kyle Hadley in the number 12, the pole sitter. The number 5 of Chuck Barnes Sr. to the outside lane, to the green. The invert was a 10, putting the 10th fast qualifier toward the front of the field, and we're underway. Oh man, the 77 car of Jason Drummond spins down in turn number 1. He went down onto the grass and spun. Don't sure what was going on with Drummond. Stopped along the bottom of the track down in turn 1 and gets it moving just as the yellow comes out. 40 laps, green flag, second try, turn 4. It's in the air. Kyle Hadley and Chuck Barnes come to the green, and Barnes a good start, and problems for Hadley in the 12 car as he's not quite up to speed. Does stay alongside of Mason for second. We're clean so far through 1 and 2. Some shuffling going on. Mid-pack, top 5, single file formation. Chuck Barnes leading, Mark Mason second, Hadley third, Silas in fourth, and running fifth, the 7 car of Chad Poorman. Danny Smith on the bottom tries to take 6th away from Brian Hopkins, not yet to succeed, and I think Hopkins is going to be able to do it out in the outside lane. Moving up on the inside now, the 72 car. And we got problems. It's Drummond spinning again over in turn number 2 this time. Jason Drummond from Gibsonburg, Ohio, a spin over in turn number 2 to bring out the caution with 4 laps complete of the scheduled 40. Several time winner, and now we got trouble down in turn number 1. I spoke too soon. 17 of Gumbert has damage to the right front of his car, and the 77 of Drummond has spun again in turn number 1. So yellow out with 13 complete, 27 laps remaining. About the 1/3 mark of the race this afternoon. Gumbert's got heavy smoke coming out of that car. I don't know why he didn't find his way to pit road. Picking up the pace, entering turn 3, Barnes and Kimmel. To the green. Turn number 4, back underway. Kimmel, good restart on the outside lane. Single file up front. First 4 cars, then Jeff Lane in a battle for 5th. Inside is Silas. They go up the track a little bit. They stay clean. Lane falls back to 6th. Tries to hold off Danny Smith for that spot as he looks to the outside in the 2 car. Frank Kimmel the second leading, Chuck Barnes second, third Chad Poorman, 4th Mark Mason, 5th is Jeff Lane, 6th Brian Silas, 7th Danny Smith, 8th Jason Thompson, 9th Ryan Amonette, and in the 10th spot the 95 of Brian Hopkins, 11th David Bayens, 12th Rich Segovich, 13th Jimmy Kirby, 14th Kyle Hadley, 15th AJ Reidner, in 16th Bo Crawford, 17th Billy Van Meter, 18th Joshua Carroll, 19th, the 58 of Lathan, and 20th is Josh Poor. Also out there racing, down a few laps is J.J. Schaefer, Kerry Abril, and the 77 of Jason Drummond in a battle as the final cars, I think, on the lead lap. We are past the halfway mark, 19 to go that time, 21 laps complete. Rich Segovich for a position just out of the top 10, and Billy Van Meter goes around on the backstretch. Billy Van Meter in the 23 car is spin. A caution out for the youngster Billy Van Meter. The EDCO Welding and Hydrolics number 23 car, Van Meter a yellow, brings the lap count to 21. "21 laps in to the 4th corner, and green is back out with 19 laps remaining. Kimmel resumes out front. Jeff Lane, the driver, trying to pick up some spots here. He's going to be lucky to hang on to 5th, though. Drives back in hard into turn 3, drops back into line in front of the 11 car of Silas. Frank Kimmel the second. 5-car length advantage, down to 4, down to 3 as they go through 3 and 4. Again, Barnes pretty good middle of the turn, and they've got contact and a wreck down in turn number 3. J.J. Schaefer, Billy Van Meter, A.J. Reidner, Larry Lathan, Jason Drummond, and the 33 car of Kerry Averill. Averill backing up. He might go down pit road or something here, try to avoid the car stopped in front of him. Frank Kimmel the second in the 72, and Chuck Barnes in the number 5 coming to green in turn number 4. And we are back to action on the racetrack. Kimmel again into the lead. The 5-car of Barnes drops in line in second. Chad Poorman third. Battle for 4th between the 73 car of Jeff Lane. As again he tries to move into the top 4. Last time it didn't work. This time he's got the 111 of Silas glued to the outside. If Lane slips back at all, he would probably lose 5th. That's not going to happen. He's going to take 4th away. So up to 4th goes Jeff Lane. Poorman for 2nd in a battle with the number 5 of Chuck Barnes. Barnes, the veteran street stock competitor. And Mark Mason has dropped off the pace middle of the backstretch that time. Not sure if the car has started to sputter or what the issue was. Mason running in the 5th spot. And came down the front straightaway okay there, it looked like. Maybe Mason will be okay. 2nd place battle. Poorman. Reidner off the pace in the 96. Some of the cars starting to drop off on this big racetrack. With Danny Smith just rolling around slowly on the inside lane. Still under power, but not a lot of it. Jeff Lane threading the needle down in turn 1 as he races with Chad Poorman. Lane from the 4th spot trying to take 3rd from Chad Poorman. Lane, this is a big points run with Josh Poor riding around at the back of the field on the tail end of the lead lap as he's just trying to garner as many points as possible and save his points lead. Lane on the offensive, making moves through the field from his 10th starting position up into 3rd now. I think he'll have enough to compete with at least Chuck Barnes. Might take a yellow for him to make any runs at the 72 car, though, of Frank Kimmel II. 8 to go, 32 laps in for Frank Kimmel, Chuck Barnes, Jeff Lane, Chad Poorman, and Mark Mason. Lane is closing down to 5 car lengths now behind Chuck Barnes for 2nd. 7 to go. Drummond in the 77, the 33 car of Kerry Averill move over to the bottom. The top 5 are about equally separated down in 3 and 4. Thompson runs in 6th. Brian Silas in 7th. Ryan Amonette 8th. Rich Segovich 9th. David Bayens 10th. And the 95 of Hopkins running 11th. 12th place to Bo Crawford. 13th to Joshua Carroll. 14th to J.J. Schaefer. I think he's some laps down, though. 27 car of Poor probably actually running in the 14th spot. 5 to go. That time 35 laps complete, 5 to go for Frank Kibble II. Not quite a half straightaway lead, a little less than that. But a good 15 to 20 car lengths advantage for the 72 of Kimmel. 4 to go. Lane just hasn't been able to close the gap on the number 5 car of Barnes like I thought he would. 3 to go with 37 complete now. Single file around the speedway, not really any major battles going on. Up front, those top 5 kind of racing by themselves. Closest of those cars, the 7 of Poorman defending 4th from the 88 of Mason. About 3 car lengths separate those two. Two to go. Kimmel races into turn 3 with the 5 car of Barnes closing a little bit. And down the front stretch, 2 laps to go, turns into 1. Final circuit for the 72 of Frank Kimmel II. 5 car lengths separate him and Barnes. The second fast qualifier, the Mars Trucking Custom Color Collision, Scholler Valley Foods number 72, entering turn 3, going off into turn number 4, and coming to the front stretch. The checkered in the air, the Definitive Auto Sales number 40, win going to Frank Kimmel II, Barnes 2nd. 3rd place, Lane 4th, Poorman 5th place, Mason 6th place, Thompson 7th, Silas in the 8th spot. The 21 of Amonette, 9th is Bayens, 10th is Hopkins, 11th Segovich. As the rest of the lead lap cars cross the line at the finish of our final race of the afternoon.